Imagine a yacht, 80 meters of gleaming steel, anchored just off the coast of a private villa in the south of France. Engines running, crew standing by, a chef prepared to cook anything at a moment's notice. Now imagine that yacht sitting there, untouched for 7 full days. No one boards it. No one sails it. Not once. The bill? $200,000. And the man who paid it? He barely glanced at it from his terrace. It begins with a single phone call. A broker in Monaco, the kind of man who answers calls at midnight without blinking, receives an instruction from a client. Reserve a yacht for next week. Something big. Something good. The broker does not ask why. He does not ask how many guests. He does not ask about routes or itineraries or diving excursions. Within 48 hours, a vessel is secured. The yacht is moved to a position visible from the client's rented villa. The guest who never arrived. The client flies in by private jet from Riyadh. He arrives at the villa. He unpacks. He sits by his infinity pool overlooking the Mediterranean. He orders lunch. He looks at the yacht. That evening, the crew prepares the dining room. Crystal glasses, fresh flowers, a menu tailored to the client's known preferences. No shellfish, a preference for Lebanese meze. The client does not come. Day 2 passes. Day 3. The chef replenishes ingredients each morning. The crew maintains the vessel in a permanent state of readiness. The client spends his days at the villa. On day 5, the broker calls to check in. A polite call. Routine. The client's assistant answers. Everything is satisfactory, she says. The client is very comfortable. Is he planning to use the yacht at all? The broker asks carefully. There's a brief pause. He likes knowing it's there, the assistant says. If you find this world fascinating, the economics of extreme wealth, the hidden rituals of the ultra-rich, subscribe now. New episodes every week. You won't want to miss what's coming. The logic of the option. To understand why a man pays $200,000 for something he never uses, you have to understand how billionaires think about money and about freedom. For most people, a purchase is a transaction. You pay for something. You use it. You derive value from using it. For the ultra-wealthy, an entirely different logic applies. What the client purchased was not a yacht experience. He purchased an option. The option to decide at any moment, after lunch, after a phone call at 11 in the evening, that he wanted to be on a yacht. And to have that wish fulfilled immediately, without friction, without waiting, without compromise. The $200,000 was not the cost of sailing. It was the cost of spontaneity at scale. In a world of mega yachts, this is understood by everyone involved. Brokers know it. Captains know it. The crew knows it. A yacht on standby is not a yacht being wasted. It is a yacht performing its most fundamental function, being available. 22 people waiting. What $200,000 actually buys, in practical terms, is this: 22 human beings whose entire professional purpose for 7 days is to be ready. The captain monitors conditions. The first mate runs navigation checks. The chef plans menus that are never cooked. The hostesses prepare cabins that are never slept in. The deckhands clean surfaces that no one will walk on. This is not unusual. Charter brokers will tell you that standby voyages, yachts hired but barely used, are among the most common arrangements for clients at this level. Some book a yacht for 2 weeks and board it twice. Some board it once for a single lunch and consider the trip entirely satisfactory. One broker based in Antibes describes a client who chartered a sailing yacht for 10 days in the Greek islands. The client joined the boat on day 1, sailed for 3 hours, decided the wind was too strong, and returned to port. He spent the remaining 9 days in a hotel. The yacht waited. He renewed the charter the following summer. The visible sign. There is one more element to this story that the broker in Monaco understands perfectly well, and that the client's assistant confirmed without quite meaning to. The yacht is visible from the villa. When the client entertains guests, and he entertains frequently, at a level and scale that requires its own logistical operation, the yacht is there, in the frame of every view from the terrace. It sits in the water like a statement, large enough to be unmistakable, close enough to be clearly associated with its owner. In this world, the mega yacht is the most visible symbol of wealth available. more visible than an apartment, which is behind walls, more visible than a private jet, which is at an airport. The yacht is here, on the water, in public view in the sunlight. Bill Duker, the American billionaire who keeps his sailing yacht in Miami, says something that captures this precisely. On day 7, on the final morning of the charter, something changes. The client calls the captain directly, not through the assistant, directly, and says he will come for lunch. Today, at 1 o'clock, the crew moves with the particular controlled urgency of professionals who have been waiting for exactly this moment for 6 days. The chef, who has been quietly maintaining his mise en place in a state of perpetual optimistic readiness, begins cooking. The hostesses open the aft deck. A tender is dispatched to the villa's private dock. The client arrives at 1:15. He brings 4 guests. They eat on the aft deck. Lebanese mezzi, as the chef anticipated. The aged Burgundy is opened. The sun is perfect. The water is impossibly blue. At 3:30, the client stands, thanks the captain, and returns to the tender. 20 minutes later, he is back at the villa. The total time aboard, 2 hours and 15 minutes. The broker receives a message that evening. Excellent as always. Same again next year. What money actually buys? Jan Vik Erik, the Dutch owner who sails his expedition yacht through the ice of Greenland, rents his boat for 800,000 euros a week when he is not using it himself. He has owned mega yachts for 25 years. He understands better than most what these vessels represent. It is not about sailing. It is not about the sea. It is not even fundamentally about luxury, though the luxury is real and considerable. It is about the removal of limitation. For most of human history, even the most powerful people in the world face constraints. You could not go somewhere without arranging transport. You could not eat something without finding someone to prepare it. You could not sleep somewhere beautiful without booking it in advance. Negotiating, waiting, the mega yacht, and everything around it, the crew, the broker, the chef, the captain monitoring the weather at 3 in the morning, exist to eliminate those constraints entirely, to make the physical world responsive to desire in real time. The client in the south of France did not sail because he chose not to sail. Every morning for 7 days, he woke up and had the option. He simply preferred, each morning, to sit by his pool. The $200,000 bought him that choice. And on the last day, when he finally felt like it, everything was perfect. That is what the money buys, not the experience. The option to have the experience whenever, exactly as desired, without waiting, without compromise. For the people who can afford it, that option is worth every cent. That's the world of extreme wealth. Not what they spend, but why they spend it. If you want to go deeper, please subscribe. You don't want to miss it.